watching 48 Sports, sponsored by Hiley Mazda of Huntsville, home of the Mazda CX-50.
Tide fans will celebrate well into the night here in Atlanta. The Crimson Tide will win the SEC championship over Georgia. And with that, we say welcome in to a awesome atmosphere here inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium alongside Cam Derr. I'm Carl Prather. Cam, awesome game for Alabama. They win the SEC championship over #1 Georgia. An outstanding performance from so many players across the board for the Crimson Tide.
Absolutely. We've kind of talked about Jalen Milroe's evolution this entire time, but let's talk about that offensive line and how much they've improved over the season and how big they were today.
They were huge today. We have sights and sounds for proof of how well they played as Alabama looked to take care of business and get into potentially the conversation for the college football playoff. Nick Saban 10-1, folks, all time in SEC championship games coming into this contest. Bulldogs the win answer first. It's Kendall Milton. They're going in from 17 yards out to cap an 8-play, 83-yard drive to put the Dogs on the board first, 7-0. Will Reichard would put Bama on the board with a field goal from 43 yards out of the first quarter. That made Reichard the all-time leader in points scored at the FBS level. Second quarter, Bama grabs 6. First and 20, Jalen Milroe to Jameer Jam Miller all alone. A coverage bust for the Dogs. Alabama, though, would take advantage, and Alabama would lead 10-7. More from Bama. How about a 4th and 5 with under a minute to play in the first half? Milroe finds last week's hero, Isaiah Bond, 007, first down. And to cap the drive, a former Georgia Bulldog, Jermaine Burton, 15-yard haul in the back of the end zone. Alabama would go into the locker room up 17-7. Georgia would kick a field goal along with Alabama in the third quarter as the Tide would lead at 20-10. We move to the fourth. Georgia would answer. Carson Beck, QB sneak. We have a 3-point ball game. Tide only up 2017, but back comes Bama. Jalen Milroe to Isaiah Bond all the way down to the 1. They would punch it in with Roydell Williams, tied back up 10, 27-17. Georgia with one last gasp with a score late in the fourth to cut the lead to 3. But how about Jalen Milroe making play after play in the final drive of the game, a 30-yard scamper, followed by a 9-yard scamper to end the contest. Alabama and Nick Saban do it again. SEC champions 27-24. So after all the confetti fell and Nick Saban and company headed into the locker room, plenty to say about why they indeed should reach the college football playoff, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely. And Isaiah Bond actually said that Coach Saban came in there and did a little dance, a dance that he just calls the jump, apparently.
Okay.
But I would love to see that. I would love to see this dance from Nick Saban, but he's dancing today.
He's definitely dancing today as the players and Nick Saban had a ton to say about the college football playoff.
I mean, what else do we have to prove? You beat the #1 team, back-to-back champs. Why wouldn't we be in the playoff? You can't leave the SEC out. You know what I mean? And I feel like we proved that today. We forced the committee's hand today.
You beat the #1 team. What do they consider us? What does that consider us? But at the end of the day, you know, that's out of our reach. But biggest thing we got to do is trust the process, keep getting better. But we beat the best team in the nation considerably. So what do y'all consider us?
The message that I would send is we won the SEC. You know, we beat the #1 team in the country, which everybody thought on the committee was the #1 team in the country. And they won 29 straight games. So if we needed to do something to pass the eye test, I guess that probably contributed to it significantly.
Okay, Cam, so it's just wait and see for us for tomorrow morning. The college football playoff selection show underway at 11 a.m. on ESPN. We will have a complete recap, good, bad, or indifferent, from yours truly, Cam Derr, coming up tomorrow evening at 5. For Cam Derr, I'm Carl Prather. We send it back to you.